Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having an absolutely wonderful day. And without any ado that is further, let's jump right into it. I'm pretty sure you've all been paying attention to the news the last couple of weeks. The anticipation that is, why did that fall? What? That wasn't touching anything. Something just fell off the desk. Like, I'm not understanding. I don't. Okay. Anyway, the anticipation that a lot of people are having about the expectation of where prices are going to go, how high Bitcoin can be, where exactly the market is going based off of the hype of ETFs and the the preparedness that apparently everyone has for the Bitcoin halving. A recently published report by a company called Matrix Report, why not, has suggested that Bitcoin is now officially in its fifth bull cycle. Like, officially, they say that we are exactly now in it. And notably includes a Bitcoin price prediction saying that by the end of next year, Bitcoin will be around $125,000 per coin. I think everyone kind of remotely agrees that Bitcoin is going to pass by 100K. It's just a matter of certain time frames at this point. Everyone is kind of concluding that we will probably see over 100K next year. That's one of the generalized themes. I think this floats off of the idea of the Bitcoin ETFs being out there. And then we also have the halving is not that it's not relevant in this discussion, but the idea is that the price would move up anyway from the halving. It's just a matter of if we end up hitting those special numbers. That is to say, everyone agrees on 100K. We have a general consensus on 150,000 at some point over the course of the 18-month period. But then you start getting to the 250,000, the 350,000, and the craziest one that we've heard was the $400,000 Bitcoin price, and that one seems to be the most intense of all of them. Matrix Ports. I thought it was reports because they were reporting. Okay, Matrix Ports' latest report has detailed that the cryptocurrency so far has been through 4 other bull market cycles, each driven by a new narrative. The first one came in 2011 and was propelled by Bitcoin's emergence as a new payment mechanism. They said the second one was driven by Bitcoin's recognition as a form of money within China. That was a very long time ago. That was like 9,000 years ago. The report adds that the emergence of ICOs as a new way to create and fund ventures was the third cycle. The fourth cycle saw the boom of DeFi and was followed by NFTs. The anticipation of institutional adoption, the report adds, seems to be the main driver of this bull market. The idea being everyone is just obsessed with the idea of a Bitcoin ETF, and this seems to be fueling a lot of the movements that we've even been seeing over the course of the last couple of months. I would have loved a world where Bitcoin and the wider cryptocurrency prices were moving based off of their own metrics and what they do and how they're helping people around the world, but that is, that's asking far too much. So it appears that every single cycle is driven by something. And this one is basically being driven by BlackRock and exactly what they plan on doing within the cryptocurrency space. Institutions or blah, 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 blah. And they talk about all these other things. So, yeah, as of now, there are also a couple of other reports like this. This one was like the neatest one, if I can put it in that way. A lot of people, a lot of analysts are all saying the exact same thing. It appears we are now in. It appears as if they say we are now in the bull run, the bull market, the bull cycle. A lot of the wider public won't begin to pay attention until Bitcoin is above $50,000, somewhere around there, realizing that we are then only, air quotes, $15,000 away from the previous all-time high. More people will begin to pay attention, but we're getting a lot of 50,000, 55,000 by the end of this year. But I mean, that's also, you know, if you throw some ETFs into it, then we have a completely different number as well. Yeah, it would appear that we are now officially in the bull cycle. So saith Matrix Port, as well as a couple of other companies out there. Yeah, that's the apparently we made it news. And yeah, let's move on. In a recent development, Kraken has announced that they will be suspending Tether, the coin called DAI, wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped Ethereum, and something called wrapped Axelar, AXELAR. All of these will be suspended for trading within Canada. The changes will go into effect at the end of November, the 30th of November, as reported in customer emails obtained by Cointelegraph. A Kraken spokesperson confirmed the suspensions via email, stating that the platform constantly checks their listed assets to ensure compliance are at the highest standards in the crypto industry, yada, yada, yada. The decision apparently comes in response to recent regulatory changes within Canada and was made after extensive discussions with the Canadian Securities Administrators, the CSA, and the Ontario Securities Commission, or the OSC. We had news around summertime. I think Kraken, Binance, not Coinbase, I don't remember Coinbase, and I think even Gemini all had issues within Canada. For some reason, they didn't receive proper paperwork, or they had the paperwork, but it wasn't like the correct one. I don't remember. But I think that Kraken was one of the companies who said that they were going to wind down their operations within Canada. Not exactly sure why Canada has made it so difficult for companies to do business there. I mean, in general, I've been hearing that kind of across the board. A lot of people say it's not like the nicest place to do business. I don't understand why you would not make it as easy as possible to do business for any company who's looking, especially if they have a hard time within the United States. Make it as easy as can be for them to do business within your borders, Canada, so that you get all the extra money that would have. Anyway, so yeah, a couple of exchanges. I think maybe Bybit was also one. There's so many exchanges in the space. Also announced that they were winding down their operations, like completely winding down, like ending their operations within Canada. We never really hear about anything Canada in the cryptocurrency space, unless you look at like last year where they have physical Bitcoin ETFs, spot Bitcoin ETFs, which is a little weird because you would assume that they'd be more open to the cryptocurrency space. But yeah, a lot of coins are being delisted and are just simply not being used anymore. Maybe the wrapped coins constitute some kind of a security. I don't know. Every single country is very, very weird. But yeah, if you use Kraken and you are in Canada, I don't understand how you can suspend Tether. Like, I honestly don't. Like, it's Tether. So yeah, that's the Kraken news. Nothing too crazy unless you live in Canada, but still very weird. Alrighty. Let's move on. In what I like to call stupid news, and I say it simply because I don't know how this discussion got started, and I don't know who would start a rumor like that, because it's not a thing. So simply trying to make it seem like this is going to be a thing, whether that be to scare other people or try to get people thinking. I have no idea what the thought process was behind all of this, but this ended up being rather popular news. So recently we heard that there's a company called Uphold who started a partnership, or I think they've had a partnership with Ripple for a while, but their recent news in the last like week or two is that apparently Uphold had like purchased a large amount of XRP. I don't know if it was from the company Ripple or off the market. I don't really know exactly when that ended up happening. But it made big news because Uphold has been in the crypto space for a while. They bought a whole bunch of XRP. Everyone is expecting prices to go up, you know, the entire deal. And then we started having a lot of news. I showed you in one of the other videos where a lot of people were like questioning how Ripple unlocks their XRP from escrow, and I was like, they've been doing it for like 6 years now. Like what? Like why is this now a brand new discussion? And then for some reason, people began to ask the question, well, if Uphold has tons of XRP, would they then flood the market with it? And that then transformed into, well, if Uphold has tons of XRP and they're using it for payments on their platform, would they be using customer funds to make payments, or are they just using the XRP that they purchased? I don't know in what world you assume that they would be using customer funds, because that's not how it would work. If they're purchasing XRP to make payments, they would be using the XRP that they purchased to make the payments. Am I the only? Okay. Apparently, the asset platform Uphold recently announced their decision to purchase XRP's token on the open market for Ripple payments, formerly known as ODL, on-demand liquidity. The platform's critical move further strengthens Uphold's partnership with Ripple, yada, 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 etc. The new update on Uphold's partnership with Ripple came following a customer's inquiry about the use of customer deposits in the transactions. Clarifying doubts, Uphold talked about it on Twitter, asserting, and I quote, "We will, however, be using our expertise in sourcing both fiat and crypto XRP on the open market in order to facilitate the near instantaneous transfer of money across borders with Ripple's ODL." Basically, they're going to be purchasing XRP on the open market as opposed to buying it directly from Ripple. We had news about this earlier this year that Ripple would begin telling companies to start buying XRP on the open market, and it would do well for XRP's price. And they also said that they are going to be using their own XRP to do the payments, because why would they be using customer funds? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. According to Upholds, it says new revelations. The platform envisions using the tokens accumulated from open markets for ODL transactions without tampering with customer funds. Why would they have done that? Do people ask these questions because they honestly want to know them, or is it just like people are constantly trying to stir the pot? I've seen a lot of people doing it before, and luckily it hasn't worked. A lot of people will write really weird things on Twitter. They'll make a brand new update about some type of a rumor that they heard, and I'm glad that it doesn't end up taking off. But you know how like Twitter will randomly give you things, like there's like a section that says, is it called For You? Where basically things that they think that you might like that deal with crypto or otherwise will get shown to you. And I'm like, people are writing like blatant lies. Like, what's the point of that? Are you trying to get... Think about it this way. What if you caused a commotion within the cryptocurrency space and actually caused a whole bunch of people to like sell their money or like liquidate something, or some type of an asset ended up having a problem? You would get in trouble for market manipulation, all because you were trying to get people to like reshare and like your thing that you posted. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not really understanding why a lot of people, not this one person in particular, but it's more of a, no, that's not how any of these things work. That you don't use customer fund. They're using their own XRP that they purchased, because that's part of the... Anyway, that's the Uphold is buying or has bought, XRP on the open market, and no, they will not be using customer funds, because that's not how any platform actually ends up working. So, yeah. Alrighty. Let's move on. Also in fascinating news, Google searches for the term buy Bitcoin have surged worldwide amid a crypto rally that we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks, with searches in the United Kingdom growing by more than 800% in the last week alone. According to research from a website, the search term buy Bitcoin spiked a staggering 826% in the United Kingdom over the course of the last 7 days. And I ask this to everyone, not just people within the UK. Why do you need Bitcoin's price to go up before you start buying it? That is an honest to goodness question. If you see that Bitcoin's price is down, why are you not then clicking buy Bitcoin? Logic would tell us, us, that if Bitcoin's price goes down and you see that it is rather low, there should then be an uptick by 800% of people who are looking to buy Bitcoin. Why only when an asset further gets out of your reach do you then get interested in it? Upon seeing that the price moved higher and they could have purchased it at a lower amount, people began to try to buy it. They said the remarkable surge in buy Bitcoin searches in the UK, combined with the cryptocurrency's resurgence, underscores the growing interest and potential impact of traditional financial institutions' involvement in the world of digital assets. While users in the United Kingdom led the pack, there was also a notable increase in searches relating to Bitcoin purchases from people around the globe. According to data from Google Trends, searchers within the United States were looking for "should I buy Bitcoin?" and that increased by more than 250%, while more niche searches, such as "can I buy Bitcoin on Fidelity?" increased by over 3,100% in the last week alone. Yeah, people are looking to, once again, it's such a... We don't live in reality anymore. Like, nothing really actually makes any kind of sense. I know that everyone doesn't, like, I get it. Like, I know that everyone on the planet isn't watching this channel. But I never, ever understood, like, the FOMO effect, or being like, oh no, I didn't do something, I should do it right now, as opposed to just like doing it in that moment. And maybe it's like a tinge of procrastination is somewhere also in there as well. I never understood that. Like the idea of procrastinating drives me completely, absolutely insane. Even when I was in school, this is 1,500 years ago. I remember we had a teacher who was very intense, and it was a history teacher, and he used to make us write an essay per week. And, you know, we weren't too happy about it. He would tell us what the theme of the essay was on Monday, and we had to hand it in by Friday. By Monday evening, I was already writing my essay, and I was done with it by around midnight, so that on Tuesday I could give it to him. I was always the only one who gave it to him. And he would actually like correct it, or, you know, like fix things, whatever, yada, yada, so then I could like resubmit it again on Friday. But I knew so many people who were still like writing it like that morning. Like Friday morning, they were still trying to get it done. Or they would message me on Thursday night and like, hey, have you done it? And I'm like, yeah, of course. I don't, like, procrastination makes me anxious. Like, I just want to get it done now. I don't want to have to wait later on to do things. It just makes me, I never got it. So yeah, we will continue seeing this because it happens every single cycle. The weird part is that the people who are the latest stragglers, like the people who are at the very end, these are actually the people who pump the prices the most every single cycle. So you might remember years ago, if you were here, if you saw it on TV, Bitcoin was at $800. It went to $1,200. It went to around 6, 7, 8,000, somewhere around there. And then we hit 10,000 and everyone was like, okay, this is clearly it. But as 2017 continued on and we ended up hitting 20,000, that last push was because there were tons of people who realized that they could have gotten it for 800 and 1,000 and 1,200 and 2,000. And that was like a month-long push by all these people. Prices hit 20,000 and then we ended up collapsing. So it's always these stragglers every single bull run who get us to these new all-time highs. I mean, like the exponential highs compared to where we were before. That is to say, Bitcoin's previous all-time high was 1,200 and then it went to 20,000. So yeah, never understood it. I know a lot of people out there have been buying Bitcoin consistently. I have a lot of people, especially on Twitter and on here, who tell me that they do dollar cost averaging. It seems to make the most sense, especially over the course of a long term where you don't have to really pay attention. You're simply just buying tons of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies behind the scenes automatically once or twice a month. But to know that, now this is me personally, to know that I could have bought over the course of 2 years, I see the price go up and then I buy, makes no sense to me because I've lost 2 years of buying time. So that's people are once again trying to figure out how to buy something they probably should have been buying for a while now. And yeah, let's move on. Also in, I want to say popular news. I don't know. This mattered to a lot of people. Tether, the issuer of Tether, is reportedly working on instant updates for their reserves. Tether has come a very long way in that people have constantly, and the reason is money. I went over with all of this before with all of you. Tether came out of nowhere. People did not know what a stablecoin was. People did not care for stablecoins. The idea of a stablecoin made absolutely no sense. The idea completely took off, and then like a year later, other companies who realized that they could have done the exact same thing basically began to spread lies and rumors about Tether. I mean, at any given chance. And these people have some of the most like terrible hearts and souls on the entire planet, just trying to lie about other people and what they're doing so that you can make a buck and that entire company can completely collapse. And then these people have no money because you didn't think of it first. So over the course of the last couple of years, people have tried to do whatever they could to make Tether seem like, I mean, some of the lies were like they're working with China, they're working with this country, they're helping these sanctioned countries send money around the world. But what they didn't realize is that the general public does not care about stuff like that. So then they started lying and saying that Tether didn't actually have any money to back up their Tether. So then Tether started to release reports stating how much money they had, how many things in assets, which was also a huge controversy, which it shouldn't have been at all. The idea was basically, people were like, okay, do you actually have US dollars to back up the amount of Tether you have? So if they have 10 billion Tether, do you have 10 billion US dollars? And then Tether began to show people, no, we don't have 10 billion US dollars because that doesn't make any gosh darn sense. But we do have tons of property. We have gold, we have stocks, we have bonds, we have this, we have so-and-so. We have tons of other assets to back up the 10 billion. We also have the currency of other countries, and that people tried to also swing that into something like, well, why are you holding other currencies, you know, the euro and the yen as opposed to just US dollars? And it's like, shut up. You people have no idea what you're talking about. You're so busy trying to stir the pot, and most of you are going broke. Like, worry about your own damn money. So then Tether had to keep releasing reports all the time showing that they actually have the money, because people continue. It's mainly the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal, they don't like Tether, they don't like Binance, they don't like Changpeng Zhao, and there's some other company that the Wall Street Journal continuously makes sure that they like throw pie in the face of. So now Tether has had to announce that they not only have been showing people their balances on their, I guess, a website, but now they're going to do it in real time, because that apparently is where we've come to. Because no one's asking this about any other stablecoin company, any other thing in the cryptocurrency space, but Tether now, of course, has to actually do so. Paolo Ardoino, Tether's chief technical officer and soon-to-be CEO, disclosed that the firm plans to start publishing reserve data in real time in 2024. Soon after the article was published, Tether said that it had no hard and fast deadline by which to achieve the goal. So they don't have a date. It is simply going to happen within 2024. According to the updated article, Tether did not respond to Cointelegraph because why should they? According to the Tether transparency page, the stablecoin issuer currently publishes and updates its reserve data. Wow, they already do it. Oh, Jesus, so stupid. They already do it once per day. I thought they were only doing this once per month. They also have monthly reserve reports as well as quarterly reserve reviews, which means that people should be satisfied with doing this every 24 hours. It's only Binance, and there's one other crypto exchange that actually does proof of reserves, and they do it once per month or once per quarter, telling people, I'm pretty sure it's quarter, how much money they actually have within their platform. And Tether now does this every single day, and people still have a problem with it. So at some point in 2024, Tether will be doing like constant, like there will be no like lag on it. Very popular news. I'm not sure, honestly, if people loved or hated the news. I really don't know. I don't know if normal people in the market even care about this level of transparency. I feel like a lot of people do not, but cool, fantastic. I would love if this put everything to rest when Tether actually does this, but I feel like the fact that they're already doing every 24 hours and people still aren't satisfied means people just need to go get a life. Like, can you imagine caring about a company that has the money that you think that they don't have, and they're issuing digital versions of a US dollar that you will never own and you will never be part of that company, so why would you care? Especially knowing that they're real. Like, it's one thing to sit there and go, well, you know, I care about Tether because it might be a threat to Bitcoin. That was also one of the lies years ago. People were claiming that Tether, the company, was printing new Tether, the coin, to be able to buy up Bitcoin, and therefore them buying up tons of Bitcoin what actually moved Bitcoin's price. This was also never substantiated. No one ever found any actual proof of this. Or you can say like, well, you know, they may print tons of Tether and inflate the market and, you know, blah, 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 and do all these other things and like manipulate the markets. But if they're doing it every 24 hours, and I said this years ago, it's the same exact thing when people said that there was a problem with XRP, there was a problem with Ether. I said the same exact thing with Tether. I find it very hard to believe that any, and now it is every, cryptocurrency exchange would be listing Tether if there had been a problem with it. Understand the actual like risk that would be posed to you and your users and your platform and your money if all these crypto exchanges simply knew that Tether wasn't real, didn't look into it, and were like, the market will correct itself. So yeah, Tether is going to, and it says long-awaited update. This isn't. This is being pushed forward by people who literally have nothing better to do. These are the same exact people who do those whale reports. Is also recently, I don't have it in this video because I refuse. Vitalik Buterin, like 5 days ago, also put another, I think it was $170,000 worth of Ether onto a cryptocurrency exchange. The articles that morning were literally talking about Ethereum price crash. Ethereum's going to collapse. How low will Ethereum go? Because Vitalik Buterin, for those of you who missed it 2 weeks ago, Vitalik Buterin actually had to go on Twitter and tell people because people are so freaking nosy and have nothing better to do with their lives. Vitalik Buterin actually had to go on Twitter and tell people because he moved, I think, $500,000 to one crypto exchange and then $1 million to another. And people were like, why are you selling off your coins? Do you not believe in Ether? He was like, I'm donating that money to people who need it. Like, it's going to a worthy cause. There are people who are hungry, so I'm going to give them money. So now the other 100,000, I can only assume it's also going to donations. But if we can be completely honest, it's his money and who cares? Because I know that a lot of you in the midst of the 2024, 2025 bull run, when you start moving your money and you start buying houses and property and land and all these other things, you would love it. You would absolutely love it if someone came up to you and asked you why you were moving around your money. What are you doing with what you spend? How much on a house? Can you tell the public? Anyway, yeah, the cryptocurrency space is very weird. I know that it all revolves around money in that people do these things because they're trying to profit from it in some sort of devious way, but it's so old. It's so boring. Like, they did it first. Just let them have it. Stop trying to make your own crappy coin that no one else is going to use. It's the same exact thing with all these other chains who continuously make these stable coins that nobody wants and no one's using. And then they have to come out and say, well, we found another use case. No one wants to use it. There is no use case because nobody wants it. Just like completely let it go. That's the Tether news. Weird, right? Yeah, I know. It's just the cryptocurrency space. And I'm relatively glad that we've moved on from the vast majority of lies, especially against XRP. Those were terrible times in the cryptocurrency space where like Stuff you could Google easily. People were lying about, and then other people were spreading those lies on Twitter and on Reddit. We only had about a year or so of that with Ethereum until people realized how much money they were making. Then everyone started shutting up about it. What other coin was there? There was one other coin. I don't remember. The cryptocurrency space is odd. Yeah, I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.